So today I am in the Mount Lebanon neighborhood of the South Hills of Pittsburgh, a very, very coveted neighborhood here in Pittsburgh, and it might actually be the #1 most wanted, coveted, and livable neighborhood in Pittsburgh, and maybe even in Western PA. Do you think Mount Lebanon might be a great place for you and your family to move to? Well, then stay tuned because you are in the right place. Mount Lebanon is virtually unmatched when it comes to school districts, parks, things to do, walkability, public transportation, and anything you can possibly imagine to live a happy and healthy life here in Pittsburgh. My name is Rachel Geraci, and I'm a real estate agent and advisor here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am here in the Mount Lebanon neighborhood right now, and I get tons of calls every single week about relocating and moving to Pittsburgh. So if that is something that interests you, give me a call today, send me an email, send me a text, whatever you've got to do, but you've got to get a hold of me in order to get the results. So I'm in the car with my sister and my nephew. We're gonna drive, say hi.
Hey.
We're gonna drive around Mount Lebanon and give you guys a tour. So this is where I'm gonna start the tour. This is Washington Road going from Vermont into Mount Lebanon. And this is where the lanes can get a little dicey. You're either turning right or you're kind of going straight. And a lot of cars are parked on the right here. So you gotta watch that when you're driving through Mount Lebanon. There's a lot of parking stuff going on that's not super driver friendly, unfortunately. So
there's a lot of cute local shops up here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, honestly,
small
it's
businesses.
Yeah, small businesses. It's mostly restaurants, but it's also like, you know, there's dentists, there's therapists, there's hair salons, and there's nail salons here too. I mean, there's
something going on up here too.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a hardware store. It's Rollier's, very popular amongst the Mount Lebanon residents.
There's some breweries around here too. There's East End right up here that just opened up.
With Hitchhiker, which is my absolute favorite brewery in Pittsburgh. Based in Sharpsburg, and they have a little storefront in Mount Lebanon. There's little Tokios.
We're gonna go check it out.
Yeah, we sure are. If you like beer, you've come to the right place. So I felt that it was pretty important for you all to get a better look at Washington Road, just because it's the main drag in Mount Lebanon, and you need to understand what this road has to offer if you might be considering moving to the Pittsburgh area or Mount Lebanon. As you can see, there is a wide variety of storefronts on Washington Road. I felt that it was appropriate to give you a walking tour of Washington Road, or at least as much as I can, because unfortunately, Washington Road is under some pretty severe construction right now. I promise it's usually a lot more beautiful than this, but yeah, it's looking kind of rough because of all the construction. I'm not sure what they're doing exactly, as if traffic wasn't bad enough, really, whenever just in its normal mode. But yeah, this construction's really making it tough, and summertime is the time for construction in Pittsburgh, so Yeah, but normally it's a very, very lovely and beautiful place to be. So this is Anne Gregory Couture, which is a bridal boutique. It is a high-end designer bridal boutique. This is one of the elementary schools, which is Washington Public School, right next to Mellon Middle School. And they don't just have, single family homes in Mount Lebanon. They have townhomes as well. And here is the other side of Washington Road. This is the Clearview neighborhood, which is the neighborhood behind Washington Road. Living in a home in the Clearview neighborhood would make it easy to walk up to all the shops and everything that Washington Road has to offer.
There's Minio's up there, which is the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Best pizza in Pittsburgh. Well, not in my opinion,
Rachel
but
likes Fiore's.
I like Fiore's.
Which is also close by.
Very close by. That's in what, Beachview?
Yeah.
I actually really like Slice on Broadway is my absolute favorite right now. But it always, it's subject to change. And there's the T stop, or one of them. That's the T line I've been talking about so much.
The most convenient thing about living in Mount Lebanon and on the trolley line is that you can pretty much get anywhere from downtown to South Hills Village.
Yes. Actually, you can anywhere from downtown to South Park. Of course, there's restrictions on that, but it's a pretty straight shot. So, the one thing about living in the South Hills is the convenience of the T. And that's actually one huge perk, because otherwise it's pretty crowded down here and the traffic can be crazy, but the T is definitely a
lot of walking areas, a lot of sidewalks.
Yes. There's even apartments to rent here, so you don't just have to own in Mount Lebanon, you can literally have an apartment here.
There's so many things within walking distance. So there's Hitchhikers right ahead, and then there's like a wine bar, I think?
Yeah, it's called Luma. So it's a nice, cute little restaurant and bar. So here's the start of looking at some of the houses. I'm gonna turn away because there's a kid there. But so we got our pride flags up. It's a super inclusive community here in Mount Lebanon. You will see those flags everywhere. So that's super sweet. We are coming upon, I believe it is Mellon Middle School here? Yes, this is gonna be Mellon Middle School. One of the 2 middle schools in Mount Lebanon. Very highly awarded schools, probably the best in Western PA, if not the best, then second or third best for sure. We're back on Washington Road, which is I call it the main drag of Mount Lebanon. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. See, Washington. So here we are again. And that is Mission Hills right there. So I'm actually in the Mission Hills neighborhood right now. A lot of this tour is going to be a driving tour, but I figured I would actually walk through some of these streets. Mission Hills is going to be one of the most sought after neighborhoods in Mount Lebanon. It is just a gorgeous, tucked away neighborhood with tree-lined streets and just an incredible amount of charm and character and peacefulness. So I'm actually going to turn this camera around so you can see what we're talking about here. So stone homes are actually a huge feature here in Mount Lebanon. Throughout the tour, you're going to be seeing a lot of stone houses. Obviously, there's some of the most sturdy, durable, long-lasting, forever houses that are out there. They are even more desirable than brick houses. They are simply all over the place in Mount Lebanon, and I do think that construction makes Mount Lebanon desirable in a way, even more desirable than it would be if it didn't have so many stone houses. But it just goes to show you the age, the character, and the wealth that resides here in this neighborhood. So we're gonna just walk along here. One other thing that tells you the age of this community is the brick road that for some reason they don't replace. I don't know if it's because they don't need to, or it just adds to the charm and character of Mount Lebanon. You know, I think that they really want to keep Mount Lebanon, Mount Lebanon. Does that make sense? So everything you're seeing here today is pretty characteristic of Mount Lebanon in general. As we go through Mount Lebanon, you're going to see a lot of houses that look like this. They are extremely full of character. A lot of them are colonials, but a lot of them are what we would describe as either Tudors, provincials, or plane overhead. Yeah, that was a right loud helicopter there. A lot of them are Tudors, provincials, or another type of construction where the construction is actually not listed on the MLS. So by looking at it, I couldn't tell you what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of uniqueness going on here. And that's actually a theme throughout the entirety of Mount Lebanon. Now, I am going to take you on a drive through Mission Hills. When we're talking about price point in Mount Lebanon, really homes start at $300,000 in Mount Lebanon, generally speaking. They used to be cheaper, but since 2020, it has blown up as it has basically everywhere in the country. There's not really one pocket of Mount Lebanon or any one subdivision that has more expensive homes than any other. It's pretty well spread out from 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, all throughout every subdivision of Mount Lebanon. Another community off Washington Road is going to be Seminole Hills. As I stated earlier, these stone homes are very characteristic of Mount Lebanon, as you can see, and it's not only in Mission Hills. I also just really wanted to quickly add in the fact that I am not going to be doing Virginia Manor in this video. It is a very iconic, wealthy, probably the wealthiest neighborhood in Mount Lebanon. So I'm gonna have to do a separate video on that because this video is gonna just be too long with the Virginia Manor stuff in it. Yeah, so Le Gourmandine is gonna be on your right here. It is a French bakery that is absolutely fantastic. It has the best French pastries in the Pittsburgh area, in my opinion, besides macaron, which would be Gabby et Jules, but that is in Squirrel Hill only. Just kind of wanted to get out the car and show everybody the park. Try not to get kids in the shot, but it's kind of hard when you're at a park. But down that way is the pool, the rec center and the pool. Which it's actually a little chilly today, so I'm not gonna go there. I'm wearing a jacket and it's what, June 14th here? Whoa, what the heck was that? Fireworks, at least I hope. But this is quite the park. Yes, quite the park. And there's so much green space and so many parks in Mount Lebanon. Of course, this one is where, you know, the high school is, and I would say it's the main park. It's got the most going on, and I think it's the most looked after by the municipality. So there are two malls left in the South Hills, the South Hills Village and this one, the Galleria Mall. This Galleria Mall has a little bit more high-end stores in it than the South Hills Village, so it is a little bit more of an upscale mall. We're coming upon Bower Hill Road. Another busy street. So we're actually gonna turn right on Beverly Road, which is the other hotspot of commerce in Mount Lebanon. But to your left here, we're gonna see 700,000, 800,000, 900,000, and $1 million homes. So we are on Beverly Road now.
Betos or Bados, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's Betos. There's Betos, B-A-D-O's, and B-E-T-O's, Betos, which Betos is a pizza shop where you get cold toppings on hot pizza, which is really odd. Really odd. So here's one side of the street with all the shops. You got the Betos, Little Nippers, you got the Coffee Tree, Mediterra, which is my favorite place, or one of my favorite places.
Amazing things about Mediterra.
Dude, the food there is so good. Mediterra has the best chia pudding. So good. And they have really good shakshuka, very good sandwiches. They're really amazing. So we're heading sort of back into the Dormont area here. But as you can see,
everything's within walking distance.
Everything is within walking distance if you want it to be. The streets are super tree lined, as we mentioned before. So it's just, you know, it's got that Penn's Woods feel. It's got that Pennsylvania feel. There's Atria's right there.
There's that place too, the meadery.
Oh, yes.
But they have a whole bunch of beers there too.
So this is the Highland Terrace neighborhood of Mount Lebanon. It is right on the border of Castle Shannon. It's actually where my parents live. It's sort of known for its stunning split entry homes, which I think it has more of a concentration here in this neighborhood than any of the other subdivisions. Hoodridge. I grew up in Castle Shannon, so I used to play a lot on these streets as a kid, so it brings back a lot of warm memories. So we are on Scott Road, which is going towards Castle Shannon, Mount Lebanon into Castle Shannon. But a lot of these streets to your left are going to be Mount Lebanon. So we are now in the Sunset Hills neighborhood of Mount Lebanon. Well, parts of it. There's no way I'm going to be able to show you every last corner, nook and cranny in Mount Lebanon. That video would be like 2 hours long.
Look at the character of that house.
I know, it looks like
house.
I think it's stucco, which is odd. It's not really, it doesn't work for our climate, but you know,
Pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. You don't see that in Mount Lebanon a lot. You're gonna see more like colonials, ranches, Tudors, those types of houses. Lots of character.
Some houses for sale up here.
I mean, you're always going to have houses for sale in Mount Lebanon.
Well, yeah.
Always.
That's the way to get out.
What a fantastic dog neighborhood it is here. Oh no, this is Howe. So this is Howe Elementary School. Foster is close by though. Foster is close by. So I'm in Parker Gardens right now, which is the community right behind Beverly Road. So if you wanted to live near Beverly Road and all that it has to offer, this would be a fantastic place to live. I figured I would just give you one more walking view of one of the nicest communities in Mount Lebanon. So, you know, it's not all driving, right? There's gotta be some walking here too. As you can see, there's just a lot of hills everywhere. So sometimes with the driving tours, it can seem a little bit like the camera is sideways or wonky or something like that. The Holy Cross Greek Festival is fantastic. If you're ever in the Pittsburgh area when that's happening, it happens every summer, you have to go check it out. It's the best Greek food ever. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment, subscribe. If there's any content that you would like to see, like any particular neighborhood tours, I would be so open to that. And if you are looking to possibly relocate to Pittsburgh or Mount Lebanon, give me a call at 412-926-0806 or send me an email at the email below. I get tons of people calling me every week asking, will you show me around Pittsburgh? Will you help me move to Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh seems so wonderful and I can't help you unless you reach out. So please reach out today.
No, we're not going in any houses unless there's an open house that we want to look through.